Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiallahu anh, he had absolutely nothing. When he came to Medina, he had no money, no property, no family connections, and he literally owned nothing but the clothes that he was wearing. But yet within a few short years, he became one of the wealthiest men in Medina had ever seen. And I'm not just talking about comfortably wealthy, bro. So wealthy to the point that when he passed away, the gold that he left behind, they literally had to chop it with axes just because it was too heavy to move. Now, how is this possible? Like, how can a man go from having 0%, nothing, literally nothing, to having a level of rizq so abundant that people still talk about him 1400 years later? So when I deeply studied his life, when I carefully studied these divine laws from the Quran and Sunnah that he and the other Sahaba followed every single day, what I realized was that there's something that most Muslims today we've completely forgotten. Understand, Habibi, rizq doesn't come from your hustle. It doesn't come from grinding. It doesn't even come from the constant struggle. Rizq, in reality, it comes from alignment. When you align your heart, your mind, and your actions with certain divine laws that Allah Himself created, what's going to happen is that rizq is going to start flowing to you almost effortlessly. And this is not magic. This is not like random luck or like you have to start working harder and blah, blah, blah. This is about working in harmony with the system that Allah already placed within the universe. Think about it. A tree never goes and starts trying to attract more rain to it. A bee doesn't hustle so it can find its flowers. All these creatures, they're all living in harmony and they're all getting their rizq in abundance. So Allah created you to live naturally in a flow of provision, a flow of ease and blessings. But somehow, somewhere along the way, our schools, our parents, obviously they meant well for us, but all these modern ways of thinking, we forgot somehow that this knowledge exists, that everything is supposed to be living in harmony, and that's how you become in tune with abundance rizq. We started believing that rizq only comes through sweats, through pain, through struggle, and then as a result, we all started living smaller lives. We all started thinking smaller, and we keep fighting against life instead of flowing with life. But the early Muslims, they knew better. They deeply trusted Allah's system, and they practiced specific internal beliefs and external actions, which unlocked abundant flow of rizq far beyond anything logical. So Abdul Rahman bin Auf's life was really proof of this. Not just him, he wasn't the only one living this type of life. Many Sahaba were living this type of life. And today, finally, these divine principles, they're being discovered. They're being simplified. And for the first time, shared openly to the Muslims. To anyone who wants to unlock the doors of rizq exactly as Allah Himself intends. So if you guys don't really know me, my name is Muhammad, and for years, bro, I struggled so hard with rizq. No matter how hard I was trying or how hard I was worked, it always felt like it was just so far away to get money or to get rizq in general. But when I immersed myself deeply in the Quran, in authentic hadith, and in the lives and the teachings of the Sahaba and great scholars, I rediscovered something so amazing, bro, so incredible, which was a forgotten way of thinking, living, and connecting with Allah that naturally attracts rizq effortlessly, without pain, without stress, without these endless struggles. So what I'm about to share with you is not my own invention. Don't be thinking, bro, this guy's making things up. This is not really my own, and it's not these new age ideas as well. It's simply the revival of divine blueprints that we were always meant to live, but somehow we just kept losing along the way. So I call this framework that I'm about to teach you right now effortless rizq activation. And this is something clear. This is a step-by-step method so you can realign your heart, your mind, and your daily action with the Quranic paths of provision, so that rizq is not something that you keep desperately chasing for, but it's something that you attract and it starts chasing you. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how this works and why your rizq, your abundance and your blessings, it might just be way closer than you ever imagined. Now imagine, just for a moment, imagine waking up each morning and feeling no fear about money. You have no panic about bills, no stress about what's going to start happening later down the month. You have no whisper of anxiety that's coming and stealing your peace. Imagine you're waking up now with complete certainty. Certainty that your rizq is already written, that Allah is already providing for you, that every breath you take is moving you closer to abundance, that you don't even have to really start chasing anymore. Imagine going and looking at your bank instead of feeling this tightness in your chest whenever you're about to check your bank, and then when you see it, you feel gratitude, you feel expansion, and you feel peace. Now imagine you open up emails and you see new clients reaching out to you, opportunities coming to you from places that you never even expected, blessings flowing through doors you never even know existed. Imagine not fighting for success anymore, not having to beg for it, not even hustling yourself until you get tired, but simply receiving it naturally, effortlessly, and also beautifully. I want you to imagine, Habibi, making sincere dua to Allah and feeling deep inside your soul that the doors are already opening before you even say Ameen. Imagine your heart being light. Once again, your mind being super clear, your body relaxed, and finally stepping out of survival mode and then stepping into the flow of barakah, ease, provision that Allah Himself already wrote for you before you were even born. So you're working, yes, but you're working with joy. You're serving, but you serve without fear. And you move, but you move with complete trust. And everywhere you turn, you see the signs of Allah's mercy, generosity, and abundance chasing you down. Now, this is not a fantasy. This is not really even a dream. This is just the natural result of what happens when you realign your life with the divine system Allah already placed in His creation. This is the life that Abdul Rahman bin Auf was living. This is the life that the early Muslims used to live. It's the life waiting for you too when you finally remember how Allah designed rizq to flow. So in just a moment actually, I'm going to show you exactly how Muslims all over the world, they're already experiencing this. They're already going through this transformation. Some are going through this within days. Some are going within weeks, but they see this transformation after applying the 3 forgotten Quranic laws hidden in plain sight. Now first, before we even go through that, let me show you what happens when you truly activate this effortless rizq alignment and the powerful transformations of people that are already Muslims just like you. So this isn't just theory, this isn't just beautiful ideas. Real Muslims, ordinary people just like you, they've already started applying these 3 forgotten divine laws, and what happened as a result is that their lives, they started changing in ways that you would think is impossible. I've seen it happen over and over again in their lives and in my life as well. So there's a brother who was trapped in a cycle of hustle and anxiety. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. He was working non-stop, exhausted, feeling like no matter what he did, rizq is still slipping through his fingers. What happened actually is that he applied the first law, which is the true meaning of tawakkul, which we'll talk about. He stopped obsessing over outcomes. He stopped carrying those burdens that Allah Himself never asked him to carry. And within one single week, $100,000. How did he get it? Without forcing, without pushing, without selling his soul to the grind. Almost as if the doors that were stayed shut for years, suddenly they just started opening up. And that's what he sent me. $99,000 just for doing the first law. There's a sister who had all the skills, all the certificates, and all the motivation, but then deep inside she secretly doubted whether Allah wanted to give her success. She was constantly living in guilt and fear and this painful belief that she has to earn Allah's blessings before she was worthy to receive them. What she did is that she applied the second law, which is changing her opinion of Allah, and she changed it from fear to love, from doubt to trust, and her entire energy shifted. Within 3 weeks, she made her first $5,000. In the second month, $15,000. Nothing about her business changed, man. Only her belief. And that little, minute, small change in belief unlocked the flow of rizq that she's been waiting for all along. 15,000 in the second month. Or this other story. This student who's not even Muslim. He heard these principles and he just decided, you know what, let me just apply them. And he doesn't even have full context of the Quran. Doesn't even have the full understanding, the depth of Allah's mercy. But he simply aligned his actions and his heart with these divine laws. And as a result, within a few months, he made over €500,000 from a system most Muslims have been sitting on for centuries, bro. Centuries, but they forgot how to activate. And then another brother as well, he achieved a quick result in the first week just by applying one of the laws. I'm up $10,000, alhamdulillah, and I'm only on week 2. It feels unreal, bro. But it does feel real when you understand how Allah designed rizq to flow. And that's when you realize it's not random, it's not luck. It was always written, it was always waiting for you. But the only part that you were missing is alignment. Alignment with who? Alignment with the divine laws that Allah already made in His creation. Laws that work whether you fully realize it or not, whether you fully believe in it or not. And now that you're here, now that you're hearing these words, it means that somehow, bro, somehow, you're being invited into that same alignment as well. So you don't have to struggle like you used to. You don't even have to live stuck anymore, man. You don't have to wonder, it's like, why the heck is my dua always unanswered. You don't have to keep fighting so hard for something Allah already promised to deliver. All you have to do is remember how rizq was designed to flow all along, and that's what effortless rizq is built to help you do. So now that you've seen what's possible and you've seen the real people experiencing this, let's talk about how effortless rizq and these three laws, how they're gonna bring a huge transformation within your life. So you might be wondering, it's like, what are these divine principles that I keep talking about so much? And what did Abdurrahman bin Auf live by? Like, what did the early Muslims embody so that rizq was flowing to them without any desperate chasing? Now, these are not vague ideas. They're not even hidden mysteries, to be honest. They're clear, they're practical, and they're embedded in the Quran and Sunnah. But then somehow, most of us, we simply forget how to live by them. But when you realign yourself with them, the gates of provision, the barakah, inshallah, is going to start opening up. So let me show you what they are. So these are the three divine laws of effortless rizq. The first law states, your rizq is already written, and it's not yours to chase. Now, most Muslims, they believe that rizq is just out there, that it's something that they have to chase or fight for or hustle for. But Allah already tells you in the Quran, and in the sky is your provision and whatever you are promised, which means your rizq is already written. Your provision was already written before you even made your first dua, before you even worked your first job. Then the moment you truly internalize this, the constant anxiety about money starts melting away. This is where you stop chasing, you stop forcing, and you stop tying your net worth, your self-worth, to how much you've achieved. Instead, you focus purely on the task in front of you, the excellence that you bring to it, and the intention behind your efforts. So you leave the result fully to Allah, because it's Allah after all, and Allah says it Himself. And if Allah says it, that He wrote your rizq, understand that your rizq is way beyond you can ever imagine, because it was written by Allah. So when you live from this place of trust, provision starts flowing to you faster and more beautifully than anything that you could have ever hustled into existence yourself. So this right here is the first law. Internalize that your rizq is written, and your job is not to chase it, but to walk with ihsan and trust, knowing Allah will deliver it at exactly the right exact time. The second law states that your opinion of Allah determines what you receive from Him. I'm pretty sure you've read this hadith Qudsi, I am as my servant thinks of me. Which means, if you secretly believe Allah is withholding from you, delaying you, disappointed in you, well, you will keep living a life that reflects that same exact belief that you have. But if you believe deeply that Allah is generous, merciful, loving, and always constantly providing for you, then you start living in a world of always open doors, of easy provision, and unexpected blessings constantly. And this is literally why some Muslims, they, like, despite working so hard and making so much dua, they still feel blocked, because deep down they doubt Allah's generosity. But through effortless rizq, you'll learn how to rewire this belief completely, so that you walk through life with barakah, and always expecting barakah, always expecting ease, and expecting divine surprises every single day. Because what you expect from Allah, you'll start receiving. The third law states, you are already wealthy, you just forgot where your home is. Now, many Muslims, they live in constant states of fear, because they're always like, what if I lose everything? What if I don't have enough? What if I fall behind? Well, this fear is the silent weight that suffocates all your barakah. And the truth is, you were created wealthy. You were created for abundance, because your true home is Jannah, where everything you could ever need or dream is already prepared for you by Allah. So this dunya is just a corridor. You're just passing through it. It's a temporary passage. And then when you stop clinging to the dunya as if it's your final home, when you stop acting like your self-worth depends on what you achieved here, what happens is that your heart relaxes, your hands open, and the dunya, ironically, starts chasing you. So provision, opportunities, and barakah, they flow toward you naturally, because your heart is no longer being gripped by fear. Now it's living in remembrance. So this is the final secret that the early Muslims, they all embodied, so they can achieve this effortless rizq. So they lived from Jannah energy, and they trusted Allah's plan. They didn't cling desperately to the dunya, and what happens as a result? Dunya started chasing them. Now when you live from this truth, the rizq that's already written for you starts rushing to meet you. So these are the divine laws of effortless rizq. And that when you align yourself with them, not just mentally, intellectually, but emotionally, every single day, you're going to start experiencing, inshallah, what Abdurrahman bin Auf and so many other Sahaba were experiencing, which is rizq that chases you provision that comes effortlessly, and barakah that feels almost unbelievable. Now you might be wondering, it's like, well, what the heck? How do I exactly realign my life around these laws? Step by step. And that's exactly what effortless rizq was built to help you do. So in a moment, actually, I'll show you what happens once you step inside this journey of effortless rizq, and how we'll realign your heart, your mind, and your actions in a simple but a beautiful way. But first, let's just take a deep breath. I just walked you through so much, but understand you're closer to divine flow than you even realize. So breathe, Habibi. Breathe. But now that you understand the three divine laws behind effortless rizq, let's talk about what's going to happen when you experience them day by day, week by week, when you enter this journey. Because effortless rizq is not just like information that you go through and then you learn it and then you forget it. It's a daily realignment ritual. It's a transformation system that rewires your heart, your mind, and your actions to move in harmony with Allah's design, until receiving rizq becomes as natural as breathing, because in reality, rizq is as natural as breathing. So here's exactly how the journey is going to look like. So it consists of 4 weeks. You go through week number 1. I called it the rizq reset. So in the first week, we're going to be breaking those invisible chains. You'll uncover the silent beliefs and the habits and energies that have been quietly blocking your provision without you even realizing it. And then you'll finally see why hard work alone has never been enough. And you'll experience a deep, almost physical sense of peace as you release the belief that rizq is something that you must force into your life. So you'll stop thinking that this is something that you got to force into your life. So by the end of this week, most students, what they say is that they feel lighter, they feel more open, more spiritually relaxed. Because now what happened is that they stopped carrying a burden that Allah never asked them to carry. So you'll start noticing small signs of barakah almost immediately, like unexpected ease, small gifts, peaceful moments, reminding you that your provision is already moving towards you. That is week number 1. Week number 2 is belief rewiring. So we go even deeper in week number 2, because once you clear the surface blocks, well, now it's time to reprogram the inner foundation, which is your opinion of Allah. So through simple but powerful daily activations, you're going to start rewiring the way you see Allah, from like someone who's distant, someone who gives you unpredictable tests, to a source of constant generosity, constant mercy, and constant abundance. And you learn how to shift your energy so deeply that your dua no longer feels desperate. You don't make dua begging or feeling desperate, but you make it with, like, you already know it's been accepted. It's already going to be accepted. And then when your opinion of Allah shifts, what you receive from Him will also shift as well. Remember the Hadith Qudsi? So this is the week where students, they often experience their first big rizq surprise, like an unexpected payments cleared, a business deal easily being closed, or a long awaited door finally starts opening up. Not because they started pushing harder, but because they believed deeper and they changed their opinion of Allah. The third week is flow activation. So this is where we replace the hustle mindset with divine flow. So you'll learn exactly how to operate from flow state rizq, where you'll start moving through your daily actions with calm trust instead of frantic anxiety that the hustle culture always talks about. And then you'll understand the clear difference between effort with barakah and then struggle without barakah. And you'll start working less, inshallah. You'll start stressing less, but yet you'll see way more results than you have last time, because now your efforts are aligned with Allah's system. They're not really going against it. So you're no longer chasing rizq. You're just simply walking your path with ihsan. And you're allowing rizq to meet you at the right exact time, in the right exact way. And by this point, most students, they're like, bro, I feel like everything is just happening in divine timing. They see more opportunities coming randomly. And you obviously by now you should know that it's not really random. They see rizq flowing from places you couldn't even predict, and they'll feel a new confidence coming into them, because now they know that they're always being provided for. And then week number 4, remembering where you came from. So in this final week, we're going to anchor this final transformation permanently. This is where you'll start remembering where your real home is, which is not this dunya, not this temporary world of chasing and clinging, but you'll reconnect deeply to the truth that your rizq is already written, both in this life and the next. And then when your heart fully relaxes into that trust, when you stop attaching your worth and your safety and your happiness to this dunya, that's when dunya starts chasing you. You'll move through life lightly, open-hearted, detached, but fully present. Now you're no longer fearing, oh, I'm going to lose money, I'm going to lose opportunities, I feel so behind. Because now you'll know deep in your soul that you already have everything you need. And this is the final state of rizq alignment. A peaceful heart, a clear mind, abundant provision, and a life in barakah flow. So this is not because you're going to start hustling harder. No, because finally, this is because you remember exactly where your real home is. So this is the daily journey that you'll have inside effortless rizq. Step by step, it's simple, it's spiritual, and practical. It's not just theory that you listen to once and then that's it, you're done. No, like this is real, this is living transformations, and they stack upon each other day after day until you're living an effortless flow that Allah has already intended for you. And then to make this journey even more powerful, when you join the effortless rizq, I've added some special bonuses, man. Special bonuses to support this activation even further. And these bonuses, they'll help you build not just a spiritual barakah, but real and tangible financial barakah as well. So I'll show you exactly what those bonuses are. But once again, Habibi, breathe. Breathe. If you're still here, it's a sign that this journey was written for you by Allah. There's no accident that you're here. Like, how long? This video is 26 minutes long. And you're still here. And you're still listening. This is not by accident. So because I want to make sure you don't just activate effortless rizq, but that you multiply it and inshallah protect it for life, I've added some powerful bonuses so that this transformation not only is going to be faster, but deeper and even more lasting. So these bonuses, don't be thinking of them as something random. They're carefully chosen so I can help you open more doors of provision once effortless rizq starts flowing into your life. So let me just show you what you're going to be getting. So the very first thing, bonus number 1, the Rizq Attracting Copywriting course. This is a course that I used to sell for $500, and it's a copywriting course. When you start living in alignment and barakah flows, what's going to happen is that you'll want to know how to turn that flow into opportunities, into clients, into an income stream with ease. And that's why I made this course right here. So this course teaches you the skill that changed my life using words to attract even more rizq. So inside this course, you'll learn how to create offers that pull people toward you naturally, how to sell your service or product with barakah, not pressure, and how to write content that turns strangers into loyal customers without ever feeling salesy. So if you can write with sincerity, you can attract rizq effortlessly for life. And that's the first bonus. The second bonus is the Amazon Influencer Blueprint. So this was $300 value. Think about it, bro. What if you could make a second income stream without having a product, without a customer service, without even big investments? And that's what you'll learn in the Amazon Influencer Blueprints. This is the exact passive income system I used to start making money in my sleep, bro. So you're not going to be using ads, no inventory, no startup capital. You'll just learn how to make simple product reviews, upload them on Amazon, and get paid every time a customer watches them. So it's effortless, it's halal, and it's proven. And it's the perfect vehicle to catch the rizq flow when you're finally aligned. The third bonus, which is actually my favorite, which is the YouTube Automation Blueprint, $500. And you've probably seen these YouTube channels that earn thousands without ever showing their face. So here, you'll learn how to build one yourself. So in the YouTube Automation Blueprint, what you'll learn is how to create faceless YouTube channels that build passive income, how to automate content creation, and how to tap into YouTube's massive organic audience. So you can start having an income monthly. And then inshallah, this is going to help you easily bring more barakah into your life. And the fourth one, this one I call it the Emergency Barakah Activation Toolkit, only $49. But whenever you feel scarcity coming back in, or you feel these old fears of doubt coming back into your life, you can use the Emergency Barakah Activation Toolkit. So in this mini course, there's 5 powerful spiritual practices rooted in the Quran. They'll give you the exact steps to shift from scarcity and back into abundance. So whenever you feel like these old thoughts are coming back, you just immediately deploy this. It's a very fast course, and inshallah it should put you back into flow. So this isn't motivation. I call this literally spiritual ammunition. And the last one, obviously everybody's looking for this one. Complete your rizq circle, divinely written love. $49. This is I used to only sell this for $49 because rizq is not just about money. One of the biggest sources or blocks of rizq in your life is your spouse. that's why I'm including this guide right here. So inside this, you'll learn how to align your heart and intention to attract the spouse that Allah already wrote for you, how to filter red flags without falling into paranoia, and then how to recognize someone who will multiply your rizq and not block it. So when your heart and your partner and your purpose are all aligned, you'll notice that rizq is going to start flowing way faster, way easier, and more beautifully than it ever did. So altogether, all these bonuses, if you put them all together, is going to cost $1,395. But here's the thing, when you join Effortless Rizq and you get these bonuses, you'll be receiving them all completely free. You'll be receiving this right here, all completely free. No extra cost, no hidden upsells, just pure value, so I can support your transformation, inshallah. And because this journey is not just about learning, it's about living differently for the rest of your whole life. Now at this point, you're probably wondering, it's like, what the heck? This sounds amazing, but how much does it cost to join Effortless Rizq? And obviously, that's a fair question. Now, if this program, all it did was free you from the constant fear of money, if it rewired your relationship with Allah so that you expect barakah daily, if it opens unexpected doors of rizq and ease into your life, and if it gives you the spiritual certainty that your provision is guaranteed, it would already be worth thousands. Like honestly, what's the value of waking up each morning without having this financial fear always upon you? Like ask yourself, what's the value of knowing that your rizq is attracted to you and you don't really have to go and chase it? And what's the value of being finally deeply aligned with the system that Allah already made in the universe to give you rizq? So if you're like me, you would know like that is literally priceless. Now when I first designed the Effortless Rizq program, I was thinking about pricing it the same way that the elite coaching programs price it at, which is usually like $2,000 or more. And based on the messages and the transformation that I keep getting from students that are going through this, it's worth every single dollar. But I knew, I'm like, nah, this is not just about money, man. This is about service. This is about helping Muslims realign with Allah's divine design for rizq, without barriers, without obstacles. So that's why when you join Effortless Rizq today, you won't have to pay $2,000. You won't even have to pay half of that. You can get the full lifetime access to the entire system, to the entire Effortless Rizq system, plus all the bonuses for this price, $299. One-time payment. Or you want to put it another way, for less than $5 a day, you could completely transform your relationship with provision for the rest of your life. $5 a day. You could stop chasing rizq and start living inside it, and you could replace fear with trust and anxiety with peace, all for the cost of a cup of coffee each day. $299. $5 a day, bro. Now obviously it's called Effortless Rizq, so I wanted to kind of make this decision for you effortless, and that's why you're protected by the barakah guarantee. And this is how it works. So if you join Effortless Rizq today, you go through the program, you apply it sincerely, and then if by the end of the 60 days you don't feel more peace, more flow, or more connection to rizq in your life, then just reach out to me. Show me you did the work and I'll just refund you. No awkward conversations, no chasing, no guilt. What's going to happen is that you either experience the barakah or you get the full investment back. Simple, pure, and halal. Because here's the thing, bro, I want you to make this whole decision from a place of trust, not fear. Just like rizq itself, this opportunity is not something that you gotta start chasing desperately. It's something you receive with an open heart, knowing that Allah already wrote ease and abundance for you. But here's the thing, man, I do have to warn you. So this version of Effortless Rizq with the bonuses, the barakah guaranteed, and the lifetime access is not going to be available forever, obviously. Why? So on purpose, I'm going to be keeping this experience small and focused. Now you might ask, why? Because I want to protect the energy of the journey. For who? For you. And for every person, for every student that joins. So when there's too many people joining at once, the personal connection is not really there anymore. The spiritual momentum is not really there anymore. And even the depth of the transformation, it starts becoming diluted. And that's the last thing I want for you, man. So enrollment for Effortless Rizq is limited to just 50 new students at a time. Once those 50 spots are filled, what's going to happen is that the bonuses are gone, the barakah guarantee is going to be removed, and the price will increase significantly. And don't be thinking, bro, you're just using scarcity, man. You learned that from the copywriting course. No, this is not just scarcity for the sake of pressure. Like, I genuinely want to honor every single student who joins, and I'm trying to serve you at the highest level. So if you're feeling that pull in your heart right now, if you feel that there's something whispering in you, this is what I've been searching for, this is my chance to finally step into the flow that Allah has intended for me. So I invite you, bro or sister, to trust that feeling, because the longer you're going to be waiting, the longer that those old patterns, they're going to start staying. The longer that the fear, scarcity, and the struggle, it'll be keeping their grip more on you. And you deserve way more than that. Like Allah didn't create you so you can start chasing rizq. He created you to be living inside it, to be receiving it, to walk through life with open hands, open heart, and complete trust. And all you gotta do is just realign. That's it. And today, that door is open for you. So here's what happens when you join. You'll get immediate access to the first module of effortless rizq. You'll begin rewiring your heart, your mind, and actions day by day, and you'll feel the invisible chains start breaking almost immediately, and within weeks, you'll start seeing the proof in your own life. New doors, unexpected blessings, ease where there used to be struggle, because this system is not new, it's not man-made, it's divine, and it's been waiting for you to realign with it all along. So listen, you have two choices. You can literally close this page, go back to the same hustle, the same anxiety, and the same unanswered questions about why the heck does my rizq feel blocked? Or you can just say yes. Yes to trust, yes to ease, yes to the divine flow that Allah has made for you. You don't have to be perfect, man. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing, that's all. And Allah promises, if you take one step towards me, I take 10 steps toward you. So take that first step now, and then click the button below to join the 30 days to effortless rizq. And then let this be the moment that you stop chasing rizq and finally start living in it. So I'll see you inside, inshallah.